Okay, I think I have my mic settings right. Took me a minute to make sure that was correct, and I don't have my folder up. Okay. Well, happy Sunday, everybody. It's been a couple of weeks because life has just been a little bit difficult. Oh, you decided you wanted to join me after all, huh? Kat decided she didn't want to come in to the room while I was recording, while I was doing the prep. What do we expect from cats anyway? So, update. I got my author picture done. Let me see if I can get a picture of it to flash up on the screen because it's awesome. There it is. That's my author picture. Isn't it awesome? I love it so much. I can't not be so happy to have that. I've fixed all of my icons everywhere to be that picture. So it's really cool. It's really awesome. And I'm so happy. So overwhelmingly happy. We're still working on the Shane and animatic, by the way, because I don't do things at all quickly. But that's okay. So that was like the first update. I wasn't here last week because life's just been hard. I've had my car break down for 3 weeks, and it's just been busted for 3 weeks, and that's been just rough. Because you can't really go anywhere. Anyway, I got distracted. So I've got two really good story times for you guys today. One happened in real life, the other one happened in a video game. You can probably guess which one happened in a video game. I think I'm going to tell the real life one first because it's funny, it's short, and it really isn't going to go anyway. It definitely doesn't have as much setup. So I work retail, and sometimes I've never had a bad experience working retail. I am incredibly gifted in the fact that I've never really had a bad experience. It's always been pretty decent to me, pretty good to me. I've had bad days, sure, and I've had people say some weird things to me, but I've never necessarily had a bad day. This is one of the weird things people have said to me. So, I'm working on restocking Gatorade, right? And this lady comes up to me and she looks like she is in a hurry. She is in a hurry, guys. She's in a hurry. And she comes up to me, she goes, "Do you know what time it is?" And normally when I'm working, the answer is no. I have no idea what time it is. Unless it's near a break time for me, which it was. So I was like, I do. I think it's sometime around 3:30. And she starts to walk away. She turns to me, checking her watch on her wrist, and says, "Actually, it's 3:27," and then continues walking. I'm left sitting there like, what happened? I I was thrown off for the rest of the day. This lady, she had a watch on her wrist. She could have checked her wrist watch, but instead she asked me. And when I was not spot on to the minute, she decided to let me know that I was wrong. I, I was dumbfounded for the rest. I was not sure of myself for the rest of that day. I walked around just confused out of my mind. Like, anytime anyone asked me a question, I was like, I don't even know anymore. I don't even know anymore. Oh my, it was. I think it's one of my favorite retail stories to tell now. Just, it's short, but man, it's a good one. It's one of my favorites, and it will never not be one of my favorites. I'm still just sitting here fucking laughing. I don't know how to segue from that. I don't know. I don't know how to conclude that story and move on to something else. Like, that's something that just shakes your world? How do you continue living your life after that happens to you? I'm sorry, I'll pull it together. Gosh, and we haven't even gotten to the long story yet. So the long story about the demon storm and the giant spider. This is this is this is the video game story. Obviously. I play Conan Exiles, and I used to play on the base game, on the base maps, but I encountered a glitch that had to restart my character. And I thought, because I'm going to restart my character anyways, I think it'd be fun to restart on a new map. New character, new map, new challenges, the whole shebang. On the base map, for those who don't play Conan, there is an environmental effect called the Sandstorm. And when a sandstorm happens, is my mic too close? When a sandstorm happens, you get all sorts of nonsense stuck in your throat. Jesus. Sound like I was gargling sand. Excuse the sound of my water bottle. That's better. So there's a sandstorm. And when a sandstorm happens, your health just starts to drain unless you are in what's considered shelter. And if you're under shelter, you don't have the same effects happening to you. Again, I have all of the issues drawing the hair. No, that's not gonna work. I don't know how hair works. I'm not a hairdresser. What is that sound that I am hearing? Oh, it's probably just the... Gotcha. It's... If I seem a little bit more unable to stay focused than normal, that's just been the entire day. So, just, just run with it. Also, it's storming. I probably should have started with this. It's storming at my place right now, and we've already had the power flicker on and off a couple of times, so this stream might actually be short. Depending on the weather, I might just vanish, and I apologize in advance if that happens, and also for not starting with that. The sandstorm. Conan. Yes. So, when a sandstorm happens, unless you are under shelter, your health starts to drain. You cannot drink potions or eat food or do, any of those things. And you also can't climb. And that's bad because most of the. Well, I actually have never encountered an enemy that can also climb. So, really, when you're being chased, the best bet is to just climb up a rock. And that's how you escape danger. But you can't do that in a sandstorm. So, when I had to create a new character, I got the Isle of Sipta. Sipta? I have no idea how that's supposed to be pronounced, and I'm sorry. The Isle of Sipta, uh, new location, downloadable content, whatever you want to call that. And it's pretty much exactly what it sounds like. It's an island full of shipwrecks. I don't know anything about the lore of Conan or what the Isle of Sipta is because I don't care. I think we've talked about my lack of care in Conan before. So, I end up shipwrecked on the Isle of Sipta, and my first thought is, you know what I ought to do? I'm gonna create a pirate. I'm gonna create this amazing pirate lass who's been shipwrecked onto this island and is going to build a two-story, with an attic, Victorian house. That's not where that's supposed to go. Out of the carcass of her old ship, and it's going to be beautiful. And first thing I discovered is that I can't actually build in a ship, which sucked. But either way, when I first started playing on the Isle of Sipta, I was mostly just running around on the beach, as far to the edge of the map as you can get without swimming. So, let me paint you the picture of what's happening when I first encountered this area, map-wide area effect. It's an island. Beautiful tropical island. It's bright, it's warm, not a cloud in the sky. The sky is so unbelievably blue. The waves are just crashing in and out, rhythmic. Birds are singing from inside the island. It's so bright the sand is blindingly golden. And then all of a sudden, it starts to get dark. The winds pick up. The trees, they shake because the wind is picking up. The waves are starting to crash. There's lightning in the distance, and there's thunder in the distance. Lightning is the flash, thunder is the noise. There's thunder in the distance. It is getting dark. Visibility is nothing. You can see branches and leaves flying past you, top speeds. And the sky turns red. And in the distance, inland, towards the center of the island, is a giant red tornado. That is the Maelstrom. That is the area of effect thing for the Isle of Septa. And my first encounter with it was on that beach. Staring up at it going, oh my god, I need to get to cover. Because the first thing I thought when I saw that giant tornado, no visibility, no idea what the heck's going on, is that thing's gonna pick me up and fucking yeet me across the island. I don't want that. I'm sorry, I just hit my mic. I don't want to be picked up and thrown into who knows what. I have not seen much of this island, and I am like level 5. So I immediately take shelter and just pray that it's not coming towards me. And after a few minutes, I realize that the tornado doesn't actually move. It stays stagnant. It's in one spot. Stagnant is not the right word. It's staying in one spot. Pausing because mouth movements are hard. That's better. So it stays in one spot. And again, I've been out on this beach for like 10 minutes. I have spawned like barely any conceivable time ago. So I look up at the tornado, realize it's not draining my health, realize it's not moving, realize there's no actual danger of me being attacked in any way, and think, that's not my problem. That is not something for me to deal with right now. That is endgame material, and it is not my consideration. And that's pretty much what I thought for the next like 10, 15 levels. Whenever it happened, I was just like, I'm not really curious about what that giant storm is. It's not really my concern. If it's not going to come over here and it's not going to try and hurt me, then it's not my problem. Your eyes are supposed to be closed, sir. Or at least very close to being closed. That's vaguely correct. Sorry, when I start to focus, I have to, like, stop talking a little bit. But anyway, level 5, not my concern. And it wasn't my concern literally every time it happened, because when I realized that it wouldn't come near me and it was, like, not my problem, that's pretty much exactly how I treated it, as, not my problem. So life goes on as normal for me in Conan world. And eventually, I do get my house built. I get a 2-story house built, I get some windows going, and I realize I need curtains for my windows. And if I'm going to build curtains, I'm going to need silk. So I have to boot up my interactive map. Sorry. I'm not very good at talking for long periods of time, so when I get really excited, I start to have issues talking. So I boot up my interactive map. I try and figure out where the silk is. And unlike the normal Exiles map, all of the spiders, literally every breed of them, are in one singular location. That's not what I wanted. On the map. Not a problem, but I was like, you know, I had issues fighting spiders back in the original map. So I thought, I'm going to take all of my potions, I'm going to make sure all of my tools are max out. They are no damage. I have just repaired them. Everything is like peak performance level because lots of spiders, I'ma probably get my butt kicked a couple of times. I'm probably going to be running away, chugging some aloe potions, running back into the fray. And the fastest way for me to get to where all of the spiders are nested, question mark, was to run straight through the center of the island, which is pretty much what I did. I started going around at first so that I could avoid the cliff face, and I started running right through the center of the island, not thinking anything of it, finding new things to be impressed by, new creatures that I was like faring fairly well against. I mean, the elephants and the rhinos were a bit of a challenge for me, but nothing that I couldn't handle. Except for like the people. I'm not very good at like running into people layers and killing them yet. I'll get there. Especially now that I have a stable and am just collecting and hoarding animal companions. I am a druid, at least in this game. So I'm running straight through the center of the island, and every time I get close to a location, I run like straight through the center of it. That way, I can unlock it, and I'll know where it is on my map, and then I'll have more landmarks to say, okay, I need to go to this place, which is closer to this location on my map. And as I'm getting close to this one location, there's a couple of humans that come out to, a couple of human sentries that are coming out to greet me and trying to fight me. And, bright blue, beautiful midday sky suddenly goes dark. The trees start to shake. The wind starts to pick up. There are branches and trees and leaves suddenly blowing past me at top speed. And Conan has this thing, this little story beat token type things, achievements, if you will. That's not where I want to put that. Wrong layer, wrong layer. Achievement like tokens, if you will, that unlock or, appear and give you XP points every time you hit them. And they usually have something to do with the main story plot or whatever it is that you should be doing relative to the game. Anybody who's played Conan and actually done the story can check me on that. I don't complete them because I just want to live out my epic pirate fantasies. But I'm starting to get close. Like, it's getting dark. I'm getting close to this location. I'm not really sure what to do, so I climb up onto this rock where I know it's safe because enemies can't climb up after me. And that's when a little objective token flashes up on my screen. And it says, entered the Maelstrom. And I panic a little bit because I think, oh, it's like the Sandstorm. Suddenly I'm going to start losing health. No, no losing health. Just to see if I can, I chug a health potion. I can. I don't see or feel any noticeable effects. And I'm like, that's interesting. And while I play Conan, I usually watch TV in the background. I play and I'll be watching something on YouTube. And I was watching a couple of Let's Plays of video games. So when I start hearing these weird sounds, I think, oh, they're probably just coming from the game that this Let's Player is playing. I don't think anything of it until I turn around on my rock and see this giant praying mantis looking thing trying to swipe at me, but can't because I am up on a rock. And I'm not panicked because, I'm up on a rock, it can't get me. But I am slightly concerned. Being close to a new location, I just assume, okay, that thing's probably just what enemy is in this location, which looks like a log cabin, but what do I know? I haven't unlocked the location yet. I haven't been near it. I can just see it sort of in the distance. This praying mantis looking thing is a boss enemy, which means they have a gold frame around their health bar. And again, I'm just kind of sitting there going, that's weird, but what do I know? I have like no visibility because of the Maelstrom, and being inside it does sort of mimic the effects of the Sandstorm, in which I can't really see that far in the distance. Give me a second, give me a second. So I pull out my torch, and I jump out. I jump down from the rock, and I just start running, thinking, well, if I get away from the location, whatever the thing is will go away. Because if it's a location-centered beast, that's usually how that works. I'm on the wrong layer again. Dang it. I hate it when I do that. So I start running. And as I'm running, lightning is striking down around me from the Maelstrom. And I'm like, ooh, that's scary. I see what's going to happen. I'm going to get struck by lightning, and that's going to take me out, right? Well, as I'm running, I kind of notice that the lightning strikes aren't actually the danger. Coming out of the lightning strikes are demons of various kinds. We've got humanoid ones that look like Nosferatu, we've got the hellhound looking things, the praying mantis suckers, a couple of other ones that I just cannot fucking remember for the life of me at the moment, because I haven't gone into the Maelstrom since this encounter. So I'm running, these things are touching down around me, and being in the Maelstrom, all of the lightning is summoning them at me, which is terrifying. So I just keep running. But I don't have the stamina to continue outrunning them. So every once in a while, I have to stop and just lightly jog. And in my camera, I can see the mob running after me. But I keep running, and I start to think, I haven't even tried to attack one of these demons. It might not be so bad. So I see a hellhound sitting in front of what looks like Pride Rock from The Lion King. And I think, he's isolated, he's alone. If this goes badly, I'll just climb up Pride Rock. It'll be fine. So that's exactly what I did. I walked up to this guy while his back was turned, this little hellhound dog looking thing, and I smacked him with my sword. And his health bar did nothing. There was no noticeable change in his health bar, and I went, oh no! So I ran. I launched, I climbed up Pride Rock, and who was waiting for me at the top? The Hellhound. Because apparently there was a flat slope going straight up from the bottom of Pride Rock so that he could just run up and wait for me. Like a meme. Why didn't you just take the stairs? Like, oh, no. So I'm positioned at the very end of this rock. So far at the end of this rock, Rafiki the Hellhound is about to yeet me into the Pride Lands, and he does almost half of my health in damage in one attack. And I scream, cause like, oh no, I'm dead. That's it. This is how I'm gonna die. Death isn't permanent in Conan, but you do lose your things. And given that I've just sat out on my journey to find Silk, I guess it wouldn't have been the worst thing in the world. I would have just lost a bunch of my aloe potions and bandages, but that would still have sucked. So I jump, I jump off the rock. I had no other choice but to jump off the rock and catch myself just barely on it. Because you can, in Conan, you can do a catch type thing when you're free falling and close to a wall. You can catch yourself on it. I catch myself just barely before I hit the ground, and it finishes me off. And yay, I've escaped the Hellhound. For now. Not yay, there's still a bunch of lightning striking and new demons and new Hellhounds appearing literally all around me and surrounding me every couple of seconds. So, not yay, I'm still not out of this. I can't see where I'm going because instead of my torch being out, I took out my sword. So, I'm running. I don't know where I'm going. I can't stop to take out my map to see where I'm going. If I'm heading for a cliff and just going to plunge into my death. But I can't stop running to do anything about that because if I stop running, I will effectively be stopping to my death. So I have no choice but to keep running. And in the distance, I see salvation. I see a rock that I can climb, and the demons cannot climb after me. And the closer I get to it, the more I start to see these weird lights. These weird blue lights. I get right up on top of that rock, I latch onto it, I start climbing, and that's when I notice that these weird glowing lights are not lights. They are radioactive looking skeletons. They are undead. And then I get to the top of the rock, the second floor, I am just barely out of reach of a whole wave mess of these blue radioactive skeletons, and that's when the token flashes. I have found the circle, like the Temple of the Moon, or some location that has just radioactive looking skeletons, and that is the localized enemy for this location, and I am stuck now at the top of this rock. I can't see anything because it's the Maelstrom, and I'm still in the middle of it, and I can't go anywhere because everywhere surrounding me, on every side, are these radioactive skeletons that are trying to kill me, and these demons that are constantly appearing and being summoned by the lightning strikes that are also trying to kill me. Good news is, the skeletons and the demons were fighting each other, so I thought, maybe, just maybe, I might be able to just loot this entire place simply by being on top of this rock and making them fight each other. No such luck, of course, but there was a half a second where I believed it. I'm getting worked up and I need another drink. I should turn my mic I should mute my mic when I do that. Anyway, so I'm stuck up there, and I turned my torch off because I had to turn it on to see where in the world I was. But I turned it off because I think, well, I can't really do anything here but wait out the Maelstrom. I have no visibility, and if I jump down, the demons are just going to surround me. And if I get caught by even one demon, I'm suddenly fighting the demons and the skeletons. And given that the demons were having my health, I didn't really want to go down there. So I was like, yeah, I'll just go get myself a cup of coffee or something. I'll wait. And that's pretty much what I did. That's exactly what I did. I went, I made myself a cup of coffee. My character just lived on the top of that rock for like way too long. My husband comes out of the shower and is all like, "Why are you screaming?" I'm just like, "I got chased up on top of this rock by a demon storm." And his response was, "Oh, I guess you just live up there now." Yep, I just lived on that rock. It was a good rock. Eventually the maelstrom did end. And then I was sitting there, beautiful, clear, blue sky day, and I had to sit there and be like, so, now what? Because the demons are gone, but the skeletons are not. The radioactive skeletons are still very much there, and they are still very much angry at me. Or so I thought. Because after the demons desummoned, a couple of minutes later, the skeletons seemed to have forgotten about me entirely. I was still standing up on that rock. I was still looking down at them, but they kind of just went back to their posts and they sat down and paid me no mind. Even the ones that were trying to attack me not less than 2 seconds prior decided I wasn't worth their time and just left. Oops. The nose is like the hardest part to do because it's always got like the weird angles to it. This is supposed to be an N, I think. Yeah, it's supposed to be an N shape. We'll get back to the story in a second. But I have to make the motions. Oh, shoot. But I have to make the motions that I'm trying to draw. Nope. That's more of an L. Teeth should be out. There's not a lot of space for me to be doing that. Looks like a robot chicken mouth. So I jump off the rock because I had to eventually. I had been up there for way too unreasonably long. I jump off the rock and I just start running. I just start running until I see the sea again. And as soon as I get over the hill, I can see the ocean. I attack a dog that tried to attack me. And I look back and I've gotten far enough away from the area that the skeletons just weren't chasing me. Or maybe they never were chasing me. I don't know. I didn't look back. But either way, I was free. I was safe. And I decided I was never going into the Maelstrom again. It seemed reasonable for me to just be like, that's not a good place for me. That's not a good place for me. Mm-mm. My mouths are always very cartoony. The N sound is a very weird thing to make. Like I'm doing the motion and the tongue should be right behind the teeth. But it looks weird, so I guess I'm just gonna skip that. So that was the demon storm part of the story. We still haven't gotten to the giant spider part of the story. Free from the demon storm, I continue on my merry way to collect silk, which I have to collect from the webs of spiders, obviously. I correct my course, and I decide I'm not going inland anymore, ever again. That's a lie, I go inland all the time now. I just get the heck out of there when the weather starts to change. Wait a second. So all of the spiders are congregated, all of the different breeds. Nope, I do not want you looking directly at the audience, that would be weird. Are all congregated into this single canyon. Now there are 2, 3, maybe 4 different types of spiders that I can think of, but there might be another one. And in the base game, they aren't all in one location. Well, that's not the right look. It's closer. Expressions are hard for me. So they're all congregated into this one single canyon, which, like, honestly, fine, works for me, makes things easier for me. Makes things heck of a lot easier for me, right? Because they're all in one location. All of the silk that there will be is in this one singular place. So I could probably get a good ton of it. One stop and done. Never have to come back. Which more or less is exactly what happened. I did not do that correctly, did I? I missed something. What did I miss? What did I miss? I did miss something. I knew it didn't look right. That's not the right layer. That's better. Canyon. Canyon. Spiders. So, I think these spiders are going to be hard to kill, because in the base game, I was around the same level I was, about the same amount of progress, and I had issues killing the spiders. So I was worried that I would have issues killing the spiders. So I start kiting them out of the canyon, doing my best to get them away from all of the other spiders, because they're pretty densely packed. And then I kill one in like 2 hits, and I realized I'm strong enough to kill them in 1 hit, if not two. And I got a little too smug for my own good. I'll admit it. I got a little cocky. And it came back to bite me spectacularly, because I am marching through this place, not bothering to not bothering to care, look around, nothing. Nope. I am stomping around this place in my spider killing boots, crushing insects beneath my feet with reckless abandon. Not a care in the world. I came for blood and venom, and I got exactly that. And then it came back to bite me. Because as I'm clomping around in my big spider killing boots, harvesting all of their silk and all of their webbing, I don't hear the boss of the canyon sneaking up on me. Now, I've already mentioned that there are boss enemies, and that they sometimes have golden um, frames around their health bar. Well, there's also a couple of different types as well. The golden ones are pretty basic, actually, and I probably could have taken. I can take some of the boss ones. I can take some of the boss people, in fact. Um, but there's also ones that come equipped with skull ratings. And the I'm in the canyon, getting the spider silk, humming to myself a little tune of, oh, this was way too easy. I didn't think it was going to be this easy. I turn around and there it is. It is a spider. Almost bigger than the 2-story, 6 to 7 bedroom house that I built. And it has 3 skulls and a gold frame around its health bar. And it's coming for me, and it is coming at breakneck speed. So I run. No other choice. No other choice. There was nothing I could do. If that thing touched me, that thing got within like 2 feet of me, it was gonna just kill me, and that was gonna be that. Not a contest. There was no contest. No contest. It was just gonna take me out. So I start running, and I think, well, you can outrun just about every enemy in Conan, right? Like, there's not a single enemy in Conan that you can't outrun, right? So I thought, until at my top speed, as fast as I can go, I start seeing spider legs at the corners of my camera. It's keeping pace with me. It's not outrunning me, but it sure as heck is keeping up with me. And it's terrifying. This thing is right on top of me. It is keeping pace. I can't outrun it, and my stamina is going down, and I am running low. And it stops to try and attack, and I keep running, and then I have to stop running, and regain my stamina while it tries to catch up with me, just trusting that I have enough instinct to start running when the corner of my vision is not full of spider legs. I was chased over the canyon. I was chased over the canyon, and as I'm climbing down, it stops at the edge of the canyon and then finds the ramp down a few feet away so that it can be on the beach chasing me. It chased me just about all the way back to my home. I only got away from that stupid thing when I had to pass through a human camp and I had to go around it because I know humans can't out or I can outrun the humans. So I just ran through the camp at top speed, aggroed all of them to me. But I didn't stop and I left that giant spider in the middle of the camp and I halfway debated going back and just picking up the spoils that the spider left behind because I was positive that the spider would completely wreck that entire camp. But then I also thought if I go back and the spider's not done wrecking that camp, it's gonna wreck me. So I took my silk and I went home and I called it a day. That is the story of how I got stuck in a demon storm and how I got chased by a giant spider. It was a mess. It was just a mess. And yet I had so much fun. It was a little bit after that that I built my stable and started my crusade to just kidnap baby animals. I did not draw his belly button on him. Oops. I've been talking so fast that now my throat kind of hurts. Yeah, now I'm just going around kidnapping baby animals, so I mean, like, I kind of deserved to get wrecked by a giant spider, I feel. I think that, that might be what I have coming to me. On another note, not necessarily an update or anything else note, this is just more of a I need to calm down because I'm getting a little bit too excited and am straining my voice trying to keep quiet because there are people sleeping in my house right now. Hang on a second. So on another note, just gonna breeze right through. I have started getting, well, it's not that I've started getting into, it's just that I've always really liked the doll customization stuff they've got on YouTube. It's like so pretty, and I really want to do that for myself. And I've started like falling in love absolutely with the design of the Monster High dolls. But like there's no time for me to get into that. There's no time. I have no space to be doing that. And I also have a toddler running around my house, so that would not end well at all. But like they're so pretty and I really enjoy the like customized or I really enjoy the look of the original like classic Monster High dolls. They're really engaging. So I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna do about that. No, I could just draw fan art. Oh, who knew? Who would have thunk it? Like, yes, that is an option, but it doesn't really satisfy the need because, like, I want to have something like tangible. If I could have a keychain, like a Disney princess keychain with like literally every Disney princess on it, I would, and I would carry it around, and I would be happy. Same with Monster High, I guess. This is going to be my new obsession for like the next week and a half, and I'm not entirely sure how it's going to manifest yet. I'm still not entirely sure how my Disney princess hyperfixation is sort of trying to manifest itself. So I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna do with that one. I don't know, maybe I will just do a bunch of fan art and then I'll print it out and then I will just hang it on all of my walls, like every single one. No wall will be safe. I will draw enough fan art that there will be tons of artwork framed, and I will frame it. I will frame it and hang it on walls, bathroom walls, the hallway walls, hanged up in the kitchen. There will be no escape. And then all of the company that comes over and is like, "Why do you have random fan art from a random kid's toy on your wall?" I'll just be like, "I did that. I did that. Therefore, it needs to hang, and I am running out of space." As far as, like, actually writing related news goes, I mean, aside from the ones that we already talked about at the beginning, every time I draw his hair, it looks like he has just constant bedhead. Which, like, kind of, I guess, but, like, it's not exactly the vibe I'm going for. But in writing related news, I think we're past the halfway point for Shannon's origin story. I think we're actually getting into the end game for it. I think. Surprising? Hooray? I'm not really sure yet. I have the next story, Black as Ice, ready to be drafted and to go from there. Oh. And that's exciting. I'm ready to work on something new. I always get a little bit worried that I'm gonna drop whatever it is I'm working on as soon as I'm ready to start a new project. Which is why I do little projects like these. And have full playlists. And I'm terrible at drawing expressions. Have full playlists and do these little... I also do GIFs for them sometimes, and I was trying to work on a GIF for Shannon, and I ended up doing a trailer instead, so that's... that's my level of, can't think of the word. Attention span? That's my attention span level. Don't worry, my grammar is just as horrendous before it goes through my editing process, but at least you know it's authentic now. My brain thinks that way too. Again, I don't want you staring straight at the audience. It's weird. I need to get new cover ideas for Black as Ice too. Its sequel, All That Glitters, does actually have a very good idea for its cover already partially done, but I don't have a cover for Black as Ice yet. I'm open to ideas, but I don't got any. I'm hoping that while I write, something will come to me. I did make trailer music for it. Yeah, I did it well, I don't... wouldn't be fair to say I did my own trailer music for it. It would be fair to say that I took a song and made a trailer version of it for Black as Ice. It still needs some work, and I'm not really sure what it's... I'm not sure what is going to be in that trailer yet. But it's got sound. So we're getting somewhere. The real accomplishment, the real achievement's gonna come if I finish these animatics before I finish the book. Or the story. Yeah. Not really sure what you would want to call it. Before I finish the fiction? Go with the fiction. Or at least before it's done posting. I might finish it. I might never finish this frame. There we go. It always works when you make the mouth movements to go with it. And then don't over-erase your lines. I'm a disaster, but I'm a beautiful disaster. I think I will at least get this one done before I'm finished posting. I feel like I've been making a lot of really good progress and keeping a pretty good schedule for it. I mean, it doesn't help that I'm... No, that's not what I meant. It helps that I've been at least doing 4 or 5 frames every Sunday for you guys. That that definitely speeds up the process a little bit. I think the trailer's around halfway done now too, so I had to go back and fix some of the frames because they were horribly ugly. I'll say it. And granted, I normally hate the things I create, so... But I don't normally feel the need to go back and fix them. They're that bad. There's sort of an acceptance level of... It's not good as far as I am concerned, but I also kind of know that that's just my brain telling me things that aren't necessarily true. So I make things to the best of my ability, and then once I don't like them anymore, I feel like that's it. It's ready. It's done. The toaster has popped up. It is ready to be sent out and to be buttered. That's a bad analogy. that's a that's a bad analogy. Ooh. Mm-mm. I didn't like that. But that's a rare glimpse into my creative thought process. You're welcome. I understand if you do not want it, you may regift it wherever you'd like. Hmm. I think this might be one of those moments where I completely lose my train of thought. Dang. I had something to say, but it's gone now. Oh well. If it's important, it'll come back. And that might be why I'm always in trouble, because I forget things. Do I have other things? Oh yeah, we decided on a publish date. We decided we would shoot for October 15th for The Light Above the Sea. I'm almost done with editing. I actually had to go back and rewrite almost an entire chapter near the end, which was not fun, but also not nearly as tedious as I expected it to be. So we're gonna go for a win that one. We're gonna call that one a win. You can tell I've been talking for too long now that I can't talk at all. I'm thrilled for it, honestly. Like I'm well, beyond just being published and thinking that's the coolest thing ever, I'm also so ready to get started on my next story. I have the events all set up, and I just need to do some character sheets, and then I'll be able to start playing through it and solidifying the story, and then I'll do the rough draft, and then it'll be great. Very excited, so excited. Been trying not to abandon the story that I'm currently working on. Trying not to abandon doing all of the tedious work for the Light Above the Sea to jump into Deathbringer. It's taking a lot more patience and self-control than I thought I had, so good for me there, I guess. Though I'm also sitting here thinking, I wish I had less self-control so that I could just do what I wanted to do. Alright, let's get to the end of this frame, and then I'm going to probably get off and eat some food because I skipped dinner tonight. Not for any particular reason, I'm just get really anxious before streams. I'm pretty sure that's just something that goes away with time. It's fun. I do enjoy it. It's nice to talk just recklessly. That's a good way of putting it. I am glad that the power didn't cut out randomly in the middle of it. I would just die. That would be it. I'd never come back. Burn my computer. No one would ever hear from me ever again. That'd be it. Hear tell of somebody in the forest writing on leaves, binding books together with bark. That'll be me. I did find out you can make fiber from bark. Funny enough, when playing the Black Antlers campaign, Shannon has a hidden talent. I wouldn't say a talent. He has a hobby. Uh, he had the kit that I can't remember, but it was like some sort of um, textiles kit, and could sew, could knit, could do needlework of varying kinds. And because of that, I needed to figure out whether or not you could make, theoretically make, things like yarn and other textiles from the barks of trees. Which you can. So nobody gets to be mad at me about random character costume changes, at least within the Black Antlers, because those technically are canonical. They are made from trees. It's one of those things that you say out loud and you know it's kind of ridiculous. Because there's no way that would be comfortable, right? There's no way. I also just really like dressing up characters. It's fun. It's fun to just browse Pinterest for hours and find new costumes and think, you know, that would look really good on my character. And then do all of the work to draw the character like that and then somehow make it canon. Add it to the collective. I don't care if it's a full chandelier looking ball gown. We're going to war. we're we're going to war looking like a disco ball, okay? That's that's how we're doing it. I kind of feel like heels in battle would be ridiculous. If only because I'm not very good at walking in them. So that, I mean, it's probably more of a personal thing, but I feel like they'd be impractical. This is where somebody who's like super knowledgeable about history gets to come in and be all like, actually, knights used to have heels on their plate armor, so it would actually be pretty. Yeah. I don't want anybody to come into my comment section and tell me that. I, my, my life would never be the same. It would never be the same, and not in a good way. Okay. I think I'm gonna call it quits for the rest of the night. Because I'm still. I'm gonna be messed up with the night. the knights in shining high heels for the rest of the night. Okay, good night, and I will see you guys hopefully next week.